Hello, everyone, and welcome to ASMR Ghost Stories. If you are a fan of getting just a little scared by ghost hauntings, strange occurrences, disappearances, things that go bump in the night, welcome. All my stories are told soft spoken or whispered. So if that is your thing, hit that subscribe button. I do upload Mondays and Thursdays. So today we're gonna dive into the plot of the 1982 Steven Spielberg film. Actually, I believe it was not directed by Steven Spielberg, but I always associated Poltergeist with Steven Spielberg, but I believe it was directed by somebody else. But today we're gonna go into the plot of the movie Poltergeist. A little backstory for you. I had a babysitter when I was about 6 years old, so I've just aged myself, and she loved Poltergeist and introduced me to it. I think this was my first ever horror film to watch, and it was at the time when HBO was out, and you had several movies that would play several times a day, several times a week for like the entire month, and this was on all the time. I think I watched it every day, but the only scene I could not watch as a child was, and if you haven't seen the movie Poltergeist, I hope I'm not ruining anything, but it's when the investigator goes into the kitchen at night and he's hungry, grabbing some snacks, put some like chicken, chicken leg in his mouth and looking through the food, and then there's that steak on the counter that starts crawling, and then the worms and stuff come out, and he goes to the mirror, starts peeling off his face. Every time, now I'm 6 years old, so every time that's coming on, I have to run to the laundry room, wait until I'm told, okay, it's all done, you can come back. But 6 years old, I'm watching this movie, scared half to death, and it's still, I love this movie. I lip sync it, literally. But even though that, as a child, was the scariest part for me, when I watch it now, there are parts that are scarier to me. And one of them is the when the mom runs up the stairs and looks down the hallway, and it gets real long, and she starts like walking towards it, and the hallway gets longer and longer and longer, and she can't get to Carol Ann's room, and she starts running. I thought, to me, it's like my worst nightmare, and I know I've had nightmares of that. So let's go ahead and dive in to the plot. Stephen and Diane Freeling live in the planned community of Cuesta Verde, California. Stephen is a successful real estate agent, and Diane looks after their 3 children, 16-year-old Dana, 8-year-old Robbie, and 5-year-old Carol Ann. Late one night, Carol Ann inexplicably converses with the family's television set while it displays post-broadcast static. The next night, she again fixates on the television, and a ghostly white hand emerges from the screen, followed by a violent earthquake. As the family is shaken awake by the quake, Carol Ann eerily declares, "They're here." She does it better than I do, though. The following day is filled with bizarre events. A glass of milk spontaneously breaks, silverware bends, and furniture moves on its own. These phenomena initially seem benign, but soon grow more sinister. During a severe thunderstorm, the gnarled backyard tree seemingly comes alive. A large limb crashes through the children's bedroom window, grabs Robbie, pulls him outside into the pouring rain, and attempts to devour him. While the family rushes outside to rescue Robbie, Carol Ann is drawn into a portal inside the closet. After saving Robbie from the tree, which got sucked into a tornado, the family frantically search for Carol Ann, only for her voice to come out from the television. Parapsychologist Martha Lesh arrives with team members Ryan and Marty to investigate. They determine there is a poltergeist intrusion involving multiple ghosts. Meanwhile, Stephen learns from his boss that the Cuesta Verde development was built on a former cemetery and the graves were moved to a nearby location. Dana and Robbie are sent away for safety while Dr. Lesh calls in Tangina Barons, a spiritual medium. Tangina determines the spirits are lingering in a different sphere of consciousness and are not at rest. They are attracted to Carol Ann's life force. Tangina also detects a dark presence she calls the Beast, who is restraining Carol Ann and manipulating her life force in order to prevent the other spirits from crossing over. The entrance to the other dimension is in the children's bedroom closet and exits through the living room ceiling. Diane, secured by a rope, passes through the portal, guided by another rope previously threaded through both portals. Diane retrieves Carol Ann and they drop through the ceiling to the living room floor covered in ectoplasm. As they recover from the ordeal, Tangina proclaims the house is clean. Shortly after, the Freeling family have nearly finished packing to move out of the house. Before the family is to leave, Stephen goes to his office while Dana is on a date, leaving Diane at home with Robbie and Carol Ann. The Beast ambushes Diane and the children, aiming for a second kidnapping attempt. The unforeseen force drives Diane to the backyard in the pouring rain, where she stumbles into the flooded swimming pool excavation. Skeletal corpses and coffins float up around her in the muddy hole. Diane crawls out and rushes back into the house. She rescues the children and they escape to the outside as more coffins and bodies erupt from the ground. Stephen, accompanied by his boss Louis Teague, arrives home to the mayhem and realizes that only the gravestones were relocated. The development was built over the abandoned bodies. The Freelings jump into their car and collect Dana just as she returns home. They flee Cuesta Verde as the house implodes into the portal while Teague and stunned neighbors look on. The family checks into their room at a motel, where Stephen promptly rips out the TV and shoves it outside. So that sums up the synopsis of Poltergeist. Now we're going to delve into the Poltergeist curse. Now I have to say, another scary part of the movie for me was that freaking clown. Ugh, that just freaked me out. So we're going to go ahead and delve into the Poltergeist curse inside the mysterious cast deaths and oddities on the set. When you mix a daughter who communicates with spirits living inside a TV set, a backyard that becomes a swimming pool of muddy skeletons, and I'm going to break right there because I heard, rumor has it, that the skeletons were real. Don't quote me on it, but that's what I heard. A wolf beast demon that lives in a closet, and Steven Spielberg's genius. You get the perfect formula for blockbuster scariness. Released in 1982, the original Poltergeist, directed by Tobe Hooper and produced by Spielberg, was an instant success and is considered to be a masterpiece of American horror cinema. The film focuses on the Freelings, a middle-class family, which I'm actually going to skip over that because I just did the whole plot. So, here we go. We're going to dive into the curse. 4 cast members unalived during and soon after the filming of the series. The majority of the fuel for the alleged curse stems from the unalivements of multiple cast members. In total, 4 cast members were unalived during and soon after the filming of the series. 2 of these tragic unalivements were highly unexpected and puzzling, leading many fans to speculate on the trilogy's eerie implications. The first one, Heather O'Rourke. Carol Ann Freeling, the young focal point of the series, was played by Heather O'Rourke. Only 6 years old when the first Poltergeist film was released, O'Rourke captivated audience with her stark blonde hair, doll-like appearance, and big, inquisitive eyes. Sadly, however, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease in 1987. The following year, O'Rourke fell ill again, and her symptoms were casually attributed to the flu. A day later, she collapsed and suffered a cardiac arrest. After being airlifted to a children's hospital in San Diego, O'Rourke died during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction, and it was later believed that she had been suffering from a congenital intestinal abnormality. Dominique Dunn. Dominique Dunn, who played the original older sister, Dana Freeling, met an equally tragic and unforeseen fate. In 1982, Dunn separated from her partner, John Sweeney. In November of that year, he showed up at Dunn's house, pleading for her to take him back. When she refused, Sweeney grabbed Dunn's neck, choked her until she was unconscious, and left her to be unalive in her Hollywood home's driveway. Sweeney was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, but was released after 3 years and 7 months. Julian Beck and Will Sampson. The other 2 cast members' deaths, while unfortunate, were not as unpredictable or mysterious. The evil preacher Cain from Poltergeist 2 was played by Julian Beck. In 1983, Beck had been diagnosed with stomach cancer, which took his life soon after he finished work on the 2nd installment of the series. The same film was met with further tragedy after Will Sampson, who played Taylor, the Native American shaman, died after undergoing a heart-lung transplant, which had a very slim survival rate. Other strange things that happened on set. Cast deaths were not the only agents of the curse proliferation, as other peculiar and creepy legends surround the film's franchise. Jo Beth Williams, who played Mom Diane Freeling in the first 2 films, claimed that director Spielberg insisted on using actual human skeletons as props as an attempt to save money. At the time, they were cheaper than plastic skeletons. Williams' claim has never been verified, but it persists to this day in the lore surrounding the film's curse. Finally, in an effort to further creep out everyone involved, Sampson, the real-life medicine man who passed away due to circumstances mentioned above, performed an authentic exorcism after shooting wrapped up one night. One can only imagine how this made the other cast members feel. And there you have it. Are you a fan of the movie Poltergeist? If so, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have a story of your own, send me an email. My contact is in the description box. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button and the like so I do know that you like these videos. And the notification bell because I do upload every Monday and Thursday. So until then, everyone, stay just a little scared.